we dreaming? Are we dreaming? Are we dreaming?
Okay guys, so I've decided that I'm actually going to talk you guys through the blending work in this specific tutorial, just because in my last tutorial I don't think I did that, and thanks cause you know y'all treat me with a lot of respect. And another thing is that sometimes if I fast forward through it, I feel like the person watching can't really grasp what I'm doing or what I'm saying, especially when I fast forward through everything. So I'm using the Essence Art Color Intensifying Eyeshadow Base to prime my lids. And what I like to do is I like to dab a little on my eye and look up because I have hooded eyes, and then that kind of gives me a guideline as to where I want my concealer to be packed. And I'm going to take it a bit higher up just because we are working a little bit above the crease, and I'm just going to conceal with a concealer brush. Into the Slays for Days palette, I'm going in with the bone shade here. I've almost hit pan on this bone shade here. I feel like it's the best shade to cover up eye concealer with.
Are we dreaming? Are we dreaming? Are we dreaming?
I'm just gonna pat it down with my finger, because when you pat it down with your finger, you're ensuring that there are no harsh lines that the brush may have missed, and also you smoothing out the surface on which you are going to work. This is the finicky part, so I'm gonna use this shade over here as a transition. And the reason I'm going in with such a deep color is because and I don't mean this in a very bad way, but the colors in this palette specifically are extremely difficult to build out. And you can use the same brush as the bone shade, because the bone shade won't really show up now that there's a deeper shade on top. So I'm going to focus this transition shade above my crease line using windshield wiper motions. Very important, if you are not someone who has the patience, or if you don't have time to blend out your eyeshadow, then 9 times out of 10 you won't get the blending right. I myself used to be very impatient, like looking back at some of my work, I'm like, oh my word, I can't believe I did that. I'm not patient enough, so now I just take my time to kind of go through the blending. So I'm gonna pack this on. It's gonna take quite a while, so I'm gonna speed through this. Now that you know basically what I'm doing, I'm just adding color until I see at least like a lighter brown, because we are gonna go in with a darker brown later. So I'm just gonna add on color as we go.
Are we dreaming? Are we dreaming? Are we dreaming? Are we dreaming? Are we dreaming?
So now that I basically have my first layer done, I'm going to go in with a darker shade, and I'm actually going to teach you a cool hack that I learned. If you struggle to get your shades to blend into one another, then you might want to keep watching for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a detailing brush like this one. You want to take one that almost comes together at the tip, so it's quite sharp. The bristles are closely packed together. If you guys can see, I hope it's going to focus. And then using the Sweet Beauty palette, I'm going in with a darker shade, which is this one over here, and I'm going to lightly go into the dark shade. You don't want to pick up too much of this, because you will get a bit of fallout, and you just want to make sure that the color is packed on the tip. Righto. Now going in, I'm gonna go in underneath that brown, and don't worry if you get eyeshadow on your lid. We can clean that up later with concealer. So I'm gonna go in quite slowly, and then I'm gonna carve out where I want my crease to be mapped out.
Are we dreaming? Are we dreaming? Are we dreaming?
Now that you've mapped out where you want that to be, going in with a, you call this a Japanese crease brush, I'm now going to blend that out. Windshield wiper motions, don't be scared. It takes time, it's fine, I'll speed through this. Back in with my transition shade, I'm going to kind of blend the two colors into each other, making sure that we don't lose our transition. This is so awkward. Going in with my detailing brush again, I'm going to make sure that I don't lose that darkness. Picking it up on the brush again. So now that I've kind of got my, I want to say my transition, my darkness, my darkness? I'm going back in with my concealer, and now what we're going to do is we're going to cut our crease. So cutting your crease basically means that your crease is going to be more prominent than it is now, because you can see some of the black has drooped onto my eyelid, and you don't want that, especially when you're working with shimmer shades and lighter shades. You want to get rid of that and clean it up. So you need to be quite careful with this, because if you pack on too much concealer, it might start caking, because remember you already started off with concealer and then you concealed it. So don't pack on too much, but just enough where you can kind of work with it. This is why you use a concealer brush also, because I've noticed that these, especially these tips here, these concealer tips, they don't work for me at all. So I'm just going to go in quickly.
Are we dreaming? Are we dreaming? Are we dreaming?
I find that a great trick to this is just to take your time with it. If you don't get it right the first time, I remember when I used to do makeup, I used to be very, going into the concealer brush by the way, I used to be very despondent when I couldn't get intricate makeup looks quite right. Now looking back on it, I see that it's a process, you know, it's trial and error. You need to see what works for you and what doesn't. Look at me talking like a real beauty guru. Okay guys, so now I'm going to go in with the Essence Metal Shock eyeshadow in 01 Solar Explosion. Absolutely love this color. Love the color, don't like the applicator. Ugh. This doesn't apply quite evenly, and I think that's because of the applicator. So going in with this type of brush, which is an eyeshadow brush, great for packing on colors and things like that. I'm going to just even out that eyeshadow. Because I actually don't want my crease as prominent as what it was. And now I'm gonna do my liquid liner. I never used to like applying eyeliner. And by the way, this is the Michelle Ory Paris Feliner eyeliner. Feliner eyeliner. I start with a dot in the middle. Okay, I'm going to show you guys a trick to how I clean up my eyeliner. I grab my eye from the corner, not roughly, and I just pull until I get it as sharp as I want. That's basically all I do, and then I just take off a little bit every time until I get the wing that I'm happy with. That seems fine to me. They will never be twins anyway. Okay, so now that we have our eye done, I'm going to apply mascara. Obviously, it's the only mascara I own at the moment. The Love Forbidden Volume Mascara. And I'm just going to basically put this on our lashes, giving it a good coat so it's a good base for falsies. I'm going to make a whole video on how I apply my false lashes, but for now it's just something that I cannot for the life of me do on camera. I'm quickly going to apply my falsies and then we'll come back and we'll do the rest of the face. Guys, quick interjection. I totally forgot what I wanted to say, but the thing that I wanted to say is that I apologize for the background when the weather especially is like this. It's very dull, it's very dreary, and my room is pink, so it's very dark in my room. I can't film anywhere else. If I film upstairs, my guinea pigs will make a noise, and this is the place with like the best lighting, so unfortunately I have to make do with what I have. So just bear with me. I'm so sorry that my house is in the background, but it's the only thing that I can unfortunately do right now. And yeah, so let's get back into the look.
I've been dreaming, 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 I've been dreaming. I've been dreaming, I've been dreaming, I've been dreaming, I've been dreaming,